We're so glad to have you back in the Sanders Kitchen. I'm Pam, and tonight we're making one of my favorite recipes. It's seafood gumbo. We have some delicious ingredients that is going to go into this gumbo. Come and check it out. We have some beautiful Gulf shrimp that was so large we actually had to cut in half. I've got some beautiful lake crabs, lake pontchartrain crabs, blue. Look at the color on these beautiful blue claw crabs. That's delicious. We have a little bit of tomato, we have okra, a little oil, bay leaves, some thyme, some seafood seasoning, celery, garlic, onions, and a little olive oil and flour to make our roux. And that's going to start the whole dish. The first thing we're going to do is make a roux. And we're going to start with our oil. I have a third cup of oil and a third cup of flour. It's usually equal parts to make a roux. So we're going to get that started. Let me go ahead and add my oil. And the flour. And we're just going to keep stirring this back and forth. Now, I've heard so many people over the years saying, oh, I have to have a stool by my stove because I have to sit there for hours and make my roux. I don't do that. So I do not like a dark roux. That's my personal preference. So I'm going to have the gumbo roux police out there after me. But this is how I like it. So anytime you have a recipe, it's just the beginning of how to make, a delicious dish. So if anything that I do, if you like it a little darker, let it go darker. So it really doesn't take that long, but we'll just keep stirring. That's the important thing. You don't want it to burn. Now I like my roux just about a peanut butter color, so it's going to take a few minutes. So let me just keep doing this, and when it gets to the right color that I like, we'll get back with you. Okay, this is the color that I like. It's like peanut butter, and it does smell nutty, and it smells delicious. So my next step is just to go ahead, and I'm going to add my shrimp to this. And after I have my shrimp, ooh, you heard that? I'm going to coat my shrimp with this roux. That's going to cool the roux down, that the roux doesn't get any darker. And it's going to coat the shrimp and start to cook it just a little bit. Oh boy, does that smell good. So I'm going to cover my shrimp with this roux. And then I'm going to sit it on the side, and then we're going to come back and start sauteing our onions and our okra, and it's going to be so good. So anyway, let's just keep coating these, and I'm going to set it on the side, and then we'll be back with the next step. All right, I got my pan heated up, and I'm going to add my oil to it. And we are going to saute some onions and okra. And I'm going to let you know, there is a secret about the okra. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, you see that little bit of slime? Okra is really good for you. And, of course, the word okra does mean gumbo. That's what it means. But we're going to go ahead and turn our fire up a little bit. And the secret is just to make sure that you've fried it down really well. And that will get rid of the slime. Some people add a little bit of vinegar to it, which I've never had to do. So we're just going to go ahead and saute our onions and our okra. And this is going to take maybe 5 minutes or something. I'm just going to keep stirring it. And when we come back, I'll show you how there's no more slime to this okra. It's been a couple of minutes, and I'm looking at it, but I'm not done yet. So give me a few more minutes, and we'll be back. Our okra and onions are done. They look great. The slime level is like almost to nothing. So now we're going to go ahead and add our celery and our garlic. And we're going to stir that in. Yum. I mean, garlic on anything, is good. So now, here we go. Gumbo police. I am putting some stewed tomatoes in my gumbo. So people are going to go, you don't do that. Well, you don't. I do. So if you don't want it, don't put it in. But this is the way I've done it, and I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Stir it up real good. Get it all incorporated in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my little bit of seafood seasoning, my thyme, bay leaves, must have bay leaves. Just kind of toss that in a little bit. And I'm going to just blend that all together. And something else that I really like, a little cap, just a little bit liquid crab oil. Gives it a little kick. All right, I got that. And let me stir this in and come back with me in just a few minutes. I do have seafood stock, shrimp stock that I already made that I always keep in the freezer, and I have about 2 quarts, and it's heating up on the stove right now, so I'll be back in just a second, and we'll show you. We're going to add that in. We've got our delicious shrimp stock here. I'm going to go ahead and add that in. Ooh, it's got all that deliciousness at the bottom. Put that on the side. Let me just blend this in a little bit and make sure everything's incorporated. And then we're going to come back and add the best part of all. We're going to add back our shrimp, which has been coated with that roux, which is going to thicken our gumbo. And we're going to add our blue crabs. And then we're going to bring it up to a little boil, reduce it to a simmer. And then we're going to put the lid on and let it just cook just about a half hour. And guess what? We got gumbo. Ooh, we got this witch's brew. Smells so good down on the bayou. All right, so this is getting nice and hot. Now we're going to add our shrimp, which has all been coated with the roux. Okay. And as we stir this in and the temperature's going to come up, all that roux that's been attached to that shrimp, not only is the shrimp going to start cooking, that roux is going to start thickening up our gumbo. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, our crabs. Look at these beautiful crabs. I mean, it's like, oh. You know how big this crab had to have been for these big old claws like that? Anyway, let's go ahead and put those in. Okie dokie. We're just going to put all this together, stir it in real well, and then I'm going to put the lid on, bring it up to a boil first, and then we're going to put it on a simmer, put the lid on, and about 30 minutes later we'll come back and show you what this delicious gumbo looks like. As our gumbo is simmering for that half hour, we have plenty enough time to make our rice. So by the time the gumbo's ready, the rice will be ready too. Man, you're not going to believe this. This smells so good. We did take the 30 minutes while this was simmering. It was enough time to get our rice cooked. And if you could just look at this, I mean, come on, really? Oh my gosh. This smells so yummy. I can't wait to taste it. So what we're going to do is go ahead and we're going to serve up our plate, and I'm going to show you how we put it all together. So we have our rice, and we have these little pretty little rings, which is really nice, and we're just going to go ahead and put that in and make a nice little rice tower, as they call it, and press it down in there. And the rice is really hot. It's all pressed down in there. Now we're going to serve our gumbo around the sides, okay? So watch this. Watch this. It's going to be good. It smells so good. The beautiful shrimp. And we're going to have some crab on there too, of course. Wow. That looks so delicious. Now here's a little trick. Isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. This is going to be so good. We have a little delicious French bread to decorate on the sides, which you always have to have a little French bread. And this is our gumbo. The gumbo's ready, and I've waited too long. I can't wait to taste it. So let's go in for a bite. Let's see what it tastes like. I know it's going to be good. Watch. Thank y'all again for tuning into the Sanders Kitchen. I'm so glad you finally were able to taste my delicious seafood gumbo. It's something that I've been wanting to cook for a while, and it is so good. So anyway, I just want to thank y'all again. And if you like our videos and love everything that we're cooking because it's all so good, please like and subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and that way you know when we're coming out with more videos for you to enjoy. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in again for this delicious gumbo recipe. We love you all, and God bless.